Alright, guys, today we're reviewing Transformers Age of the Prime Summit. Wait a minute. It's not Amalgamous. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to be looking at the Transformers Age of the Prime's Amalgamous Prime. But before we look at his box, because we're going to look at his box, Unicron is back.
Hello, everybody. I am back.
Back again.
Unicron's back.
Tell a friend.
Yeah, and that's my Ultraman in the throat.
Indeed it is. So now, let's unfortunately get Ultraman out of here. And before we take a look at Amalgamous here, I need to put on my facial protection gear. Luckily, Unicron doesn't need it because Unicron...
I was going to be out of frame the entire video.
Yep, he's going to be out of frame. So, now we can take a look at Amalgamous Prime's box. So there you can see Amalgamous in Robot and Alt mode. You got Amalgamous Prime, the yellow text. Got 21 steps. On the side, you get the mural of the... What are you doing?
No, go on. For your video, I don't want to be in frame.
Alright. On the side, we got the mural of the Primes, TLR1. On the side, we have the render of Amalgamous. On the back, we have Amalgamous Prime, Cog of Transformation, because that's what they call it for some reason. And then we have here, it says Multi-Mode Shapeshifter. And I'm going to make it a point to show the barcodes on these boxes now, for those of you who are hunting them down in the wild. Now, with all that being said, I can take off all this crap from my face, put it over here, and now we can take a look at Amalgamous Prime. Let's just get him all straightened up. He looks absolutely incredible. I love the outlandish, wacky design, and it just nails Amalgamous. But first of all, he looks a little off. It's because we are missing the orbs. My headcanon is that these are little drones that he can deploy whenever and wherever he wants. Does Unicron have a headcanon for the orbs?
Well, first of all, I didn't know these things existed. Second of all, secondary eyes.
Secondary eyes. That's an interesting headcanon. I mean, they do kind of look like eyes. The head sculpt, speaking of which, is very shockwave coated, and I love it. The Cyclops nature only makes it cooler. What else makes it cool is the four arms. I do wish they were somehow mounted on different shoulders, because when you rotate the shoulder on one, the other arm moves. I wish they were independent, but I honestly don't see how they could have done that without compromising the cleanliness of that.
I mean, yes. However, it does look like there's just a little bit of space behind the orbs where they could have hinged the upper arms, but I digress.
It is what it is. Another complaint comes with the thigh swivel, or lack thereof. He has an above the knee swivel right here that comes off because parts forming, but no actual thigh swivel, and no upper knee to accompany it. And it's not like there isn't room to cut a rotation. There's plenty of room back there, but they just didn't. As I continue to review figures, I have them longer due to my insane backlog right now from TFCon and all that stuff. I begin to see more and more flaws that I wouldn't have noticed. This is definitely an example of that, but that doesn't mean there isn't thing to love about these. They're toys. They're meant to be played with. And as for Amalgamous here, his accessories really lean into that play. But before we do accessories, let's hear Unicron's take on his lack of a thigh rotation.
I do think it is unfortunate that he does not have beautiful ball joints on his thighs that give him more mobility, but then again, as you said, it would compromise the cleanliness and it would be a bit messy. Every joint has their flaws, and I think the flaws a ball joint brings to the figure wouldn't make it as good as it is right now.
Alright, and then he comes with his blaster, and it's okay. It's just a standard blaster that can peg into any one of his four hands. Another accessory is this very Transformers Prime inspired T-Cog. As far as I'm aware, he is unable to hold it, which is mildly unfortunate, but it is mainly designed to attach to the scythe. The scythe is able to have both of the other accessories tabbed onto it. This port there has this peg go into it like so, and the Prime inspired T-Cog goes in the bottom like that, very securely. Now that looks better. This is able to snap into his open hands, just like so. And you can pose him out with it, which is really cool. Final accessory is his eye. You remove the head, open it up, and you can use the tip of the blaster to push the eye out to reveal a very G1 inspired transformation cog. It's made in orange clear plastic, which as you can see once I get it back into his head, which can sometimes be a tiny little itty bitty bit of a pain.
Just a little.
It allows for some light piping, which unfortunately you cannot really see, but I promise you, when you shove a light up the back of his head, it does allow for some good light piping, which light piping is cool. What is Unicron's take on all of Amalgamous Prime's accessories?
I generally think that the handle of the staff is a little bland, but I do like the blade, the cog, and the blaster. Like, blaster isn't as cool as the rest of it. However, I do like the clear plastic that makes up the scythe's blade and the T-Cog at the handle. I also do like his eye. I had a train of thought going, but I lost it.
That happens.
I apologize, ladies and gentlemen.
Now then, articulation, size comparisons, and transformations. We're going to get into articulation first. So, his head is on a swivel. That unfortunately comes off a bit too easy, but it's on a swivel. It can hinge up that far and can hinge down that far, and it can rotate. Can have him look like that.
Oh.
Lovely. Shoulders, I'm going to take off the orbs for the sake of articulation. Shoulder can pull a full 360. Each arm is on a separate hinge, so they can both move up. Both have bicep rotation, upper bicep rotation, lower bicep rotation, 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, wrist rotation, and an inward hinge at the wrist. Articulation at all four arms is identical, so I'm not going to go over all of them. You do get a full 360 degrees of rotation at the waist. Hips kick forward that far, back about that far. They can hinge out to the side. No thigh rotation, but you get this above the knee swivel. You get knees that bend backwards, forwards, and then the foot can pivot back, and you get a really nice ankle tilt. So overall, his articulation is really good in terms of getting him into some amazing poses, especially with his outlandish design. Now then, size comparisons, or did Unicron have something to say?
I'd say it's very versatile. I do like how posable he is.
Alright, now let's do size comparisons. First of all, as size comparison we previously saw in this video in the intro would be
a Bandai Namco Ultraman figure based on Ken Sato from the Ultraman movie Ultraman Rising.
This
On Netflix.
now on Netflix. Wait, does this thing? No, it does not have butterfly joints. I thought it had butterfly joints.
It doesn't.
Unfortunate. Now, let's compare him next to Transformers. So, first of all, we're going to compare him next to Little Bitty Micronus Prime.
Literal glass.
Literal glass. Then we're going to compare him next to the Apex Armor.
He's comically giant in that armor.
Yeah, and then we will do not Amalgamous, Alchemist Prime.
You know, the one with the mustache.
Mustache. And then we get Solus Prime, which in my last video with Unicron, I said that Solus was the worst of the primes.
Has your opinion changed? awkwardly look back at his other figures.
No. It is not. Unfortunately.
Damn. Sorry.
Then we get Quintus Prime, his wave mate. Squid. That is the one cuss word that we will ever have in any of these videos.
Squid.
So if you wanted a cuss word, you got it.
It's just a very monotone squid.
We got Prima. So for the deluxes, he's pretty big, but for Voyagers, he's a bit smaller. But that's probably due to the parts count being about the same. Next up for Voyagers, we have the Prime of Time, being Vector Prime. Our worlds are in danger!
Man, where's the base boosted Cybertron intro when you need it?
Oh, you want it?
Yeah.
Alright, let's play it! 3, 2, 1.
Our worlds are in danger. To save them and the galaxy, we must find the 4 cyber planet keys before the Decepticons can use them for evil. It is our mission. Hotshot, Jetfire, Vector Prime, Landmine, Scattershot, Optimus Prime, transform and roll out. Autobots, Decepticons. Transformers, the Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons.
Alright, there's your base boosted Cybertron intro. Next up, we have Alpha Trion.
Oh, he also has a mustache.
That he does. Now on to leader class. First up, we have Megatronus the Fallen.
It's your boy. He's also on fire. Please help him.
And then for the last prime, Unicron does not know how we handle Onyx Prime here. So we do Centaur, we do one comparison in robot mode and one in Man, that's not Onyx.
Sorry, not sorry. It is Neko Heisei Godzilla.
Here's Onyx in Centaur mode. Ooh, forgot to collapse the head. Onyx in Centaur mode. Finally, the non-parts forming transformation. Specifically, the non-parts forming transformation. It's weird.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
It's real weird. So, first step, remove... Oh god. Let's bring him down. First step is to remove the orbs. Next step is for me to pull in my chair. Next, you want to take these assemblies, bring them down. Then you take the head and it will foomp into place. And then the head comes off a lot for this transformation, so I'm just gonna. Then you bring that assembly out. Then you bring up this panel. And now you take this whole assembly, bring it up. Now is where I'm going to reattach Amalgamous Prime's head, because it will slide into that hollow gap right there. Come on. Come on.
We are having technical difficulties at this time. Please wait.
Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties will be the least of your concerns.
Man, if the French Revolution was a figure, this would be it. His head is coming off like every 2 seconds.
Oh my god, that's dark. Okay, we got it. So now we can take this assembly, bring it back, and that'll unpeg this port, which we will bring forward, but not all the way forward. Close that up. Rotate the waist 180 degrees. Bring this up. rotate these assemblies, and these little hook tabs will go into those slots. Then you straighten out the ankle tilts, straighten out the feet, and these tabs will go into those slots. So just snap those into place. And now we rotate here. Oh god. His arm fell off.
Oh,
Oh no.
that's pleasant.
It's lovely. And then you take the arms and you orient them as is proper. Sorry if you can't see much of this transformation. My transformation segments have never been my strong suit, unfortunately, Unicron.
Yeah, I can tell.
Man!
Why are you looking at me like that?
Alright, rotate the wrists. Rotate the wrist, not the bicep. And you're almost done. You want to bring the hand hinges down a little bit in order to ensure that his feet are touching the ground. And finally, we bring in his accessories. You take the scythe, you collapse it, you split the legs a little bit, and this is really annoying, but you want to peg it into that port that we brought up previously. It is a bit of a pain to do.
Don't worry, we got it.
I'm a professional. Definitely.
Definitely.
And then you take the orbs and you put them back into their proper positions. And there's Amalgamous fully transformed into what I like to call his walker mode. Walker mode is...
Forgive the tokusatsu display, my good sir. I just... What? It's a good job. Okay, fine. I guess since we are doing a 13 Primes review.
We should be looking at the primes, Unicron. I know you hate them so.
No one likes Solus.
Including myself. Solus, you were a mistake.
Damn.
Okay, the second cuss word that you're gonna get.
Damn isn't a cuss word, though.
Yes, it is. Whatever. Just cease saying it. Anyways, Walker mode is odd. I mean, it's not bad, just odd. I'm kind of at a loss of what to write for this. So, we are going to discuss his parts forming transformations. So, let's just...
I'm gonna go grab my phone. Oh, sorry.
Nope, you're good. Unicron is going to grab something while we transform these. Alright, so let's remove the head from this whole assembly, and let's first transform this. So this can transform fairly similarly to how everything else transformed. The slow door open. This transforms very similarly to its previous transformation. And... Come on.
Technical difficulties. Please come back.
Insert elevator music here. And here is a weird looking jet mode thing.
Wow. That sure is the alt mode of all time.
Alright, now let's do the legs. So the legs, you do that. Take the scythe, peg it into there, and you get a tank. Little bitty tank.
I'm surprised it can balance like that.
Yeah, me too. Alright, now for these. So there are multiple options for how you do these, and I'm only going over what's in the instructions. Outside the instructions, you can do a lot. So, where's the other arm like this? There it is. So you can peg these together like so. Or you can take an orb and do that. Now for these arms, you straighten them out, fold out the wings, bring the hand forward.
No wonder you said it. You can. No wonder you said they look like drones. With those arms, I don't doubt it.
And then you can peg these together to form this. Or, again, you can take an orb, and peg it into there. And now for a cumulative transformation with all of these pieces. So you take these arms, peg them into here, and bring down the hands. Then you combine these again and peg them into here. And there is tank mode. You can take these orbs, peg them into the side of the jet. But there is a tank mode for Amalgamous Prime.
And no wonder they called him the first multi-transformer.
Now then, I don't feel like transforming it for final thoughts, so I'm just gonna have it like this. Overall, I love this thing. It has some flaws, yes, but I feel it compensates for those flaws by being really fun. What does Unicron say?
What he said, it's fun. It is by far probably the best, fidget toy. If you wanted something to fidget with because you are bored and in need of distraction, I would say this would be the most fun thing ever to fidget with. Especially considering that you can parts form it, like so, and with other things outside.
I thought there was dust. Nope, you lost your train of thought. It's
Yeah.
fine. Well, anyways, until next time, my fellow Cybertronians, goodbye and good night.